Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the War in the Pacific as we continue. So, we have a lot going on right now. We have a lot of our transport ships, our cargo ships, heading towards their predestined destinations, really. It's going to be quite nice. Once they're ready, we can start moving resources. We do have a few, probably in Shanghai, Port Arthur, other ports like that with cargo ships that do have some resources in them, which we do need to get moving. Like these ones over here. I mean, they're carrying 24,682 tons of resources. They need to get moving. So loading has completed over here. That's superb. That means they're ready to go. Okay. So they need to move down. We're going to name this task force... this would be Shanghai... what should we call it? Shanghai... Auxiliary... Resource. Yeah, I was called that. We're going to have them sent towards Tokyo. Or do we have them sent towards Tokyo? We'll have them sent... where is our greatest amount of industry? That's what we have to bear in mind. I do believe it is Tokyo. What is this game about? This game is the entire War in the Pacific. From the very beginning to the very end and even beyond, really. Okay, let's bring up the tracker. Let's look at what our industry predominantly is. So factories is what I'm looking for. Heavy industry. Right, so Tokyo. That's fine. Task Force Cargo. So that tank, how you doing, my dude? Right, so resources. Now, I could take it to Kyoto, as it does have less in the way of resources. Yeah, okay. I reckon we'll take it to Kyoto. It is closer, it means we'll be using less fuel, and also we'll be taking a few more resources over there. And try to balance that out a little bit, so they're going to head over that way. Okay, awesome. Now let's check out our other ports, see if we have any other forces. Okay, I'm not seeing anything there at Port Arthur. Okay. Yep, only a small amount of resources over here, but still we'll have them sent towards Kyoto, Osaka / Kyoto. And yeah, we're going to build up a lot of cargo ships. At least some of these will be able to be converted in the future. Be able to use them for other tasks, really, and predominantly convert them, which would be quite nice. So you all can make use of them, really, to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at our task forces. We're going to turn off all of them here. We're going to look... Right, transport. I believe this will cover... Yeah, this is covering the cargo. Okay. Right, so we can see the ones with resources over here. This is fantastic. So we move the ones at Shanghai. Oh, it appears that we have some more at Shanghai, actually. That's cool. Okay, we'll still take a look at this force. This one has not been routed. It's completely loaded up, which is awesome. What is the time? It is, well, 1 second, we'll just bring it up in a moment. So it is December 11th, 1941. We finished our, well, we've had multiple attacks on Pearl Harbor. We do have Kiributai on its way to deal with the American carrier Lexington, which we have found over by the Marshall Islands, which is over this way. Now they're moving southwest, so what I'm going to do actually is move the majority of our submarines towards these islands over here. That would be the best bet. Okay. Now we do have a lot of ships over this way. I am somewhat worried about my submarine over here, so I may have it just move out of the area, in all honesty. There's a lot of power over this way. We also do need to decide what we're going to do with our submarines. Are we going to enforce a tighter blockade of Pearl Harbor? Or are we going to spread out and take a look at the ranges? We could use the range of some of these submarines to really threaten the American coastline. Or we could even use them around Australia. Or there's always the... always something to be said for obviously keeping Pearl Harbor in check. And we'll have to take a look at the ranges. I think the average mean range is pretty decent. Let's see, roughly 14,000 endurance for the larger submarines. So the I-174 is a KD 6B class, or is that a 6A class? It looks like a B. So the KD 6B class, I'm going to assume that's what it is. The I-168 is a KD-6A. Okay, so different class of submarine, obviously different endurance ranges there. Okay, so back to dealing with the cargo. Okay, so I believe that we moved both of them. So destination Osaka, Kyoto, Osaka, Kyoto. We'll grab this one now. This one does have a fair amount of resources over here. It's got a little bit of fuel as well, which is always decent. So we can have you move to Kyoto. There we go, have them move. And now, the last remaining ones are Kijo. Again, we'll move to Kyoto. So, we're going to be moving roughly somewhere in the region of about what? Let's take a quick look here. So, just about 80-odd thousand, maybe closer to 90,000 resources. A little bit of fuel as well, nearly 1,000 in fuel. Which is not too bad there, 748 tons of fuel. Which is honestly not too bad. It's decent enough. If we take a look at the actual amount of fuel that we have over here, it's not going to make a damn well difference, but it is obviously better to have it here where it can obviously be converted. So we have oil refineries over here that will make use of that. If we go to our chart, okay, so we have fuel, which is then going to go into the heavy industry, and that's going to produce more industrial points, which is always a good thing, as well as more supply, basically. So we're going to need that. Well, the heavy industry is pretty damn good at the supply. It's much better than the light industry, it produces a much better ratio, but we also need to increase the amount of heavy industry that we have. So in terms of resources, we aren't too bad off at the moment. Oil and fuel is obviously our main limiting factors. So we do need to go out there, we do need to start pushing towards Sumatra and Java especially. Borneo would be a very nice addition too. So we are going to be looking at potentially more invasion fleets sent towards that end of the Dutch East Indies. Well, at least amphibious invasions. We are pushing on the Philippines at the moment in time, which is going fairly well. We do have forces landed here. We are still waiting on the 14th Army to be ready. Seems that these forces aren't with orders at this moment in time. Let's see. So we just over 1,000 troops there. They have about 5 guns. Okay. We have plenty of engineers here. Plenty of engineers. So what we'll have to do then is take a look at the airfield and really get an airfield up and running ASAP. Will be quite nice. Let's see. So there's a port, level 1. The port and air capacity is level 1 over here. It is, however, level 2 over this way. What do we have over here? We only have a small detachment of infantry. So yeah, we're going to build up one of these air bases. We could build this one up over here, which might be better, but with the port over here, it means we can bring supplies in much easier. So I believe we will build up the airfield over this way. Not to mention the fact as well, it's also going to help cover us the gap over here. Bataan Island is going to be useful for that too, which we have some special naval landing forces I need to get moved. We do have the engineers. Plenty of supply here too. Okay. We could expand the airfield a little bit more, but I don't think we need to right now. I think it's going to be decent enough. I could do with having the special naval landing forces moved out though. That would be most definitely a good thing. The mine lane task force is actually something I do need to take a look at. Okay, that's something I do need to put some attention into. Okie. Now, what I could do is I could have them disband in the actual ports, where they'll then maintain the actual mines around there, or we could have them shifted out further. It might be worthwhile to have the mine layers moved to Yokohama / Yosuko. Basically just so they're a little bit further out from Tokyo. I mean, it's obviously at the mouth of the bay over here, would be a good idea. So what we're going to do then is going to have them move into here, then we'll disband that task force, they'll maintain the mines in that area, which should be decent enough. Okay. That would be quite nice. Okay. So we have our forces underway over here. Let's start to issue some orders. We're going to have the artillery move up. Obviously the infantry is going to have to move up. The Tanaka detachment. So they're set to move now. So what we need to do then is set their destination over here. And yeah, their future objective is going to be issued to all troops here. Now, there is a river, which is an issue. It means that we are going to have to more than likely use a shock attack over there, which is always the best idea when it comes to rivers. Basically, you can't really half-ass it. You have to get across there, otherwise you are going to take quite a lot of casualties, or potentially may take a lot of casualties. Okay. Set all to march. There we go. Now, what we'll do then is we'll see what we have available. So we have the Engineers, Construction Battalion, Airfield Construction Battalion. They're going to cancel their move. They're going to stay here. Okay, this is where they're going to be building up. These Construction Engineers as well can stop here. The other Construction Battalion can stay here. Right, Engineer Unit, Engineer Unit. Okay, these guys can move on up. We're going to have them all set to move, otherwise it's going to take far too long. Okay. Yeah, they need to stay too. Okay, so everything is more or less done. We just need to set the rest of them to move properly. Okay, awesome. Obviously, the 14th Army headquarters will stay here for the time being, as obviously they do need to get set up. They'll be able to provide support anyway, which is quite nice. I do believe they're still unloading from the ships. No, it seems like they're finished unloading, which is quite good. The fleet, well, the forces out here in the bay are basically unloading supplies, so that's fair enough. Okay, so we still have our surface task force over here with the Naka light cruiser leading the formation. We could use them to potentially bombard over here, which could be a good idea. Now, our forces, are they ready to move as of yet? That's the question. We don't quite have the base under our control. Right, so we're unloading supplies. So what we could do then is use the task force over here and have them set to a bombardment, and our escorts to bombard. We're going to have your range be, let's see, 20,000. We'll go for about, yeah, we'll go for about 19,000 yards. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to cancel that. And I want you to bombard over here. San Fernando. If we can weaken their resolve a little bit. We do run the risk of being attacked by air forces, but we should be okay. The fact that this is a majority destroyer force and a light cruiser means they're going to have some decent capabilities when it comes to, like, well, dodging planes. The AA isn't amazing, but it's not too bad. It's the maneuver that really matters. I mean, the light cruiser has maneuver of 49, the destroyer is 67, which is the thing that matters the most, really. That maneuver. And obviously the AA. So they should be okay, they should be able to manage. Depends even if the allies are going to use their air power. Right, these forces obviously need to be unloaded, and they need to take control of that base. We do have another task force over here, led by the Nagara, along with a few other destroyers. We don't have much in the way of allied military presence. The vast majority of the American forces are in the north, over here by Manila. So these forces will have a fairly easy advance. Let's see, what do we still have yet to unload? Right, so from the actual amphibious task force, we do still have some troops unloading, so that's something to bear in mind. Now, I do like the fact that we have these over here. We are going to have to make much use of these guys. They're going to be exceptionally useful in task forces. Now, speaking of a task force, we do have our ships that we ordered over here. So we have the battleship Mutsu, which I'm going to cancel your movement and just have you set here for the time being. And then, of course, we have the other task force that we put together here. So we're going to have them... I should issue remain on station, really. Subtuga, how you doing, my dude? Okay. So we are waiting for the other part of the force over here, yeah, with the Ryujo. But we do have a good strong force here. So what we'll do then is have the Mutsu, I think it was. Yep, Mutsu join that task force. So we do have a very powerful force now. We have Nagato, Mutsu, Fuso, Isi, and Hyuga. That is a lot of firepower. A very large amount of firepower. AA is definitely up there. Okay. Now, Hosho has a few planes. Zuiho has only a few planes too. Their capacity is obviously below their maximum. Yeah, this one's only missing about 5. And we could try to put a few more bombers on there, potentially a few more fighters. That might be a good idea. I suppose it depends on the mission that we're going for. A few fighters could make a big difference. It could not. That's the thing that we do have to bear in mind. Right, these guys are set on training, which is rather interesting. Let's take a look at the pilots. Naval bombing. Yeah, while they're not doing anything, we can keep them on training. That works out well. Okay, so what we're going to do then is have our forces meet and merge. Okay, so meet that task force. Okay, I want you to meet and merge. Remain on station. Okay, so I want you to head out this way. We need to start making for the Marsh Islands, really. Or I could use them, depending on the situation, depending on how fast Kitabutai can get down here. And in all fairness, I could probably do this with Kitabutai. I mean, Kitabutai is an incredibly powerful task force in of itself. I could use the battleships and the other light carriers and escort carriers really in other roles to... I suppose we could use them to really speed up the invasion of the Dutch East Indies. That'd be quite a good use for them. We'll decide on that one a little bit more in the future. Okay. So what we're going to do is going to set the... It's a difficult question, really. I do believe I'll have some of these submarines return home. I want to make use of them by Australia, in all honesty. I mean, we do have you over here, but this is the issue. Alright, return to truck. Okay, they're on their way out. I feel we're going to have these guys return as well. These high endurance submarines are going to be quite handy. What we'll do then is we'll enforce a tighter pattern around Pearl Harbor then. Really try to control it. There will come a time when it is really dangerous. But for the time being, we can probably hang around here. So if we press the 6 key, I believe it is. Is it 6? Is it F6? Right, not that one. I'm trying to remember what the key was now. Let's see. Was it C? No, that's combat reports. You know, I can't remember the actual key I use now. Alright, let's see. Okay. The moment I can't recall what the key was to see all the task force movements, but that's fine, we'll make do. Okay. Right, replenish at sea. So we are following the task force. I want you to trail by, oh god, a few hexes at the very least. Well, stand off by about 5, I guess. Or 3 at most, then that sounds about fine. Okay, Kiributai is set to full movement over here, but I don't think we'll do that. In fact, I could actually use Kiributai to take control of the situation down here to the south. We're going to go at cruise speed. Well, let's see. Mission speed actually is probably the better one. Mission speed. It's not much lower than full speed either. Okay, so we are air combat. Let's see, I need to set out these missions. So escort duty. Naval attack, yep, and then rest. The Cates are on naval attack as well, obviously using torpedoes. Okay, so what we could do then is we could have them swing to the south. Then again, is it worth it to miss out on the opportunity presented by Lexington? Not particularly. We're going to set a path over here for Nauru Island as the forces over this way are heading that way. So it's probably going to take us within range. More than likely within range. Depends on how those forces really move. Okay, now what we need to do is set up these forces this way. 1 second, I'm just going to quickly look up one of the specific hotkeys. Need to remember that actual key to show me the task force patrol areas. Okay. So a few moments. Okay. Just looking for it now. No, not the key I was looking for. Okay, we'll have to find that one out again in the future. I could go back to an earlier episode where I commented with it. I just can't believe I forgot the key. Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed? Indeed. Okay. So I'm going to change these task force patterns, and well, these patrol patterns. They're heading southeast, so I'm going to really have to patrol around these islands. Okay, we do have you over this way. This is a midget submarine. Right, so dock you, replenish. I can't believe you actually made it all the way down here, that's impressive. Okay, so we'll undock. In all honesty, it's got no chance. So I'm going to keep that dock because that could come in handy in the for use in the future. This task force... Do I have them docked? I don't really want them docked. These patrol boats do have decent maneuver. It would be a good way to actually waste the Americans' munitions, really. You're quite low on fuel, but you should be fine, you should be fine. You're going to be able to do this. It's obviously because we've set their... fuel use up, the speed is up, but that's fine by me. It means that they're going to get there. They're going to be in the area pretty quickly, which is definitely what matters. Okay, we need these submarines around in this area ASAP. Okay. Okay. We just need to catch the carrier off guard, really. Enough submarines in the area is going to be absolutely phenomenally dangerous to this task force. We really do need to slow them down if we can do as well. That would be most excellent. Have them move this way, just in case they move through the Marshall Islands. Okay. Have them move down that way. I think what I'll do is I'll have you patrol around Midway, just... No, actually that would be rather ridiculous. We're going to have these submarines sent to basically watch Australia. So we can see that we're going to have ourselves set up here. Now the issue was that our attacks over here were using the bombs, which we don't need them to do that. Yeah, I mean it makes a lot of sense due to the fact that these like pilot skills are quite low. It's not very good. Yeah, that is the issue. How are they with naval bombing? Naval bombing. I think this is their torpedo. Yeah, they're not exactly phenomenal. So what we'll do then is we're just going to have them use these torpedoes. I mean, at the end of the day, these are superbly deadly weapons. We just need them to hit with them. So we're going to probably lose a few more planes here, but this is going to be pretty much worthwhile if it means that we can actually sink an American carrier. I mean, if we can put a hole in that bitch, then that is going to change the game. We do have a significant large amount of aircraft here, we just need to make use of them. Their naval bombing skills are actually really quite decent, so these guys, if anybody's going to be able to put a hole in her, it's going to be her. Going to be these guys. We're going to turn off their patrol patterns, they don't need them. I want the entire squadron used in this attack, basically. Right, so they're going to use our torpedoes. Okay, we do have some fighters, not much, not many. But at the end of the day, we do have a few, which is going to make a decent amount. So put all of them on combat air patrol. We're going to have this now. At the end of the day, we can put them back to resting as soon as they're done with these missions, which is pretty easy. Well, pretty simple, I suppose you could say. We do have a couple more over here. These are on the naval search. These transports obviously doing a bit of training. Do you have a carrier vessel? Yes, we are playing the Imperial Japanese Empire, so we have a lot of carriers, to be fair. We have quite a few carriers. We don't have a carrier in this area. We do have Kidabutai, which is on its way this way shortly. So we have Kaga, Hyo, Soru, Sakako, Zuikaku, Akagi in this area. We do have a few more carriers up over here, which are going to meet up. So carriers here, and a carrier, well, a few carriers over here and a carrier here, as well as a seaplane carrier. We do have 2 seaplane carriers down here. I think we can actually convert the seaplane carriers. So if we go to ships, ship upgrades perhaps, conversions, CVL, yeah, this would be the, okay. Available from December 1942. Okay, so in 42 we're going to convert the seaplane carriers to the light carriers. That's going to be exceptionally important. We are going to need those extra carriers. And let's take a look actually at the industry. Let's take a look... yes, we also do have plenty of battleships too. If we take a look at the engines, what I'd like to see is the HA-35s. Right, 35... Okay. 180 engines a month. How about the actual airframes? So the Zeros, you can see this is actually being upgraded as we speak. I think we're going to gain about 1 point in production each day over here as it's obviously repaired. This is producing 56, so we are producing a few Zero airframes per day. Not a huge amount, so we are going to have to step that up. But I would like to step up engine production as well. That would be a good idea. Right, okay. So we have a few naval missions ordered. We do have the landing down here, actually, that we do need to take a look at. So we do have the battalion here, the infantry battalion. How are they going? Okay, so we do have the cargo ships. These guys are under extreme threat right now. Right, all the troops are unloaded, so what we need to do then is we need to have this force on Well, basically they need to be on the attack ASAP. We could go for a shock attack. I'm going to go for a shock attack. Well, we'll go for a deliberate attack. Or do we go for the shock attack? We'll go for the shock attack. I don't imagine there's going to be that many troops here. And if we can rout the allied forces... But then again, we'll go for the deliberate attack. I don't know what we have in store here. I don't know how many troops they have. So I don't want to commit to a shock attack and then lose everything. So we did sink the Prince of Wales battleship around about here, which was a superb effort. The submarine has paid for it, but she will be put to great use. She's still operating in the area right now, which is superb. We may retire them due to the fact that there is a presence of destroyers right here. So what we'll do then is... we'll have you return to a port, I do believe, just so we can get you out of there. But she's going to be in danger anyway, so we'll see what happens in the turn. Right, so we do have plenty of shipping out here. Okay. So we need to make use of these ships. We really do need to make use of these ships. What I could do is I could combine this into a large task force and then meet out the assets there. Okay, so I want them to merge. The idea being that we have plenty of heavy cruisers, we have some battleships, we have light cruisers and destroyers, so this is a superb surface task force which we must make use of. I think if I can, I will use them to support the invasions. The difficulty is that we could only really use them down here to the south, so what we might do then is use them to support the attacks in the Philippines or support the attacks on Borneo, which would be quite nice. I could have another... we do have some more over here as well, so what I can do is I can have them head out there, but we'll see. We do have more invasion forces over this way too. Let's see, I could put together another invasion force from troops in Imperial Japan, in Honshu Island, well, on Honshu. I could put together a task force, but we need to see how things go. Now, the war in China is going okay. We've had some success so far, which is quite nice. We do have lots of air assets being used against the Chinese forces here, which of course we do need to step up the number of. These numbers aren't looking too great. Okay. Level bombers and... Oh, these are level bombers. Oh, these are light bombers, okay. These guys are set to training, so I'll turn them off. Okay. Set these guys to naval training, I guess. Okay. We need to make use of these. Now, we do have Chinese forces moving down here to the south. We could use these bombers to help out at Hong Kong, actually, which is a good idea. Now, there's 9,000, almost 10,000 troops there. Do I go for a shock attack? That is the question. Okay. Now we do have Chinese forces retreating over here while this force is moving to the base over this way. Okay. We do have a Chinese force over this way to the north, which we could intercept and deal with. I would like that base. These forces around here are moving. I think I am going to actually use these forces over here at Hong Kong. And this is a lot of bombers. Right, that's strange. Okay. So in the area, we do have a lot of assault value. Okay. Could go for a deliberate attack. Basically test their defenses, see how they react. Yeah, we're gonna have to see how they react to an attack, and then I think we could probably get away with having a shock attack, potentially. I just need to see what will happen there. We do have another division that we could support them with if needs be, but it would take some time to get there. Yeah, we'll decide on that one. We'll try a deliberate attack this turn, see how that goes, and should it go well, we'll use it in the future. Right, so we do have a 4th mixed regiment over here. How many troops do we actually have here? A decent number, actually. Decent number. So what we're going to do is we're going to have them start moving up to this base over here at Nanning. I want them to start to plan for this as well. Okay, over here we do have some engineers. Garrison requirements is obviously met by far. Over here we just have a fortress. We do have some cargo ships over here. What's up there, Sultan? How you doing, my dude? Okay, so we send in these forces to ideally deal with this, and potentially this. Now, this is rather impressive, actually. The infrastructure network here, if we can actually take the base at Luxiao, or Kuilin, however you say it, that would cut off these bases from each other. Basically, we'd cut their network in half, which would be really good. That would mean a lot for us, in all honesty. Means we'd be able to stop their ease of movement and supplies. Okay, so we have forces moving over here. Forces are underway. Okay. Right, no troops are unloading here. They're just unloading cargo. What is the garrison requirement here? There's no garrison requirement. So we have the RTA division. And we have the infantry battalion. The RTA division could move out. And stuff there, JV. How you doing, my dude? Right, so we could have them move out. Right, oh, actually, no, they're already moving. They're on a strategic move. Okay, that's fine. Do they have their destination set? Right. Strategic move. Okay. So what we're going to do then is, I do remember is we're going to have to take this force down here. We do have a large amount of British forces over there. Hey, actually, you know, of a game with the scope and realism, but with a bit less micromanagement. Oh, potentially Gary Grigsby's War in the West, or if you want less micromanagement, I'd say Gary Grigsby's War in the East, but all of them have a large amount of micromanagement. It just comes with a sort of war game, really. But with the other titles, you don't have to manage an industry as such. War in the East 2 will be coming out at some point in the future, and I cannot wait for that. That's going to have more of a production focus, well, more of a production aspect to it, which could be superb. Okay, so we have these forces here. Now, we just need to reinforce our men here. There's a lot of troops headed towards us. So what we could do here then is potentially wait, allow the troops to rest. They're not moving, which is a good thing to note, but we do need to get some armor down here. Especially armor. Okay, so they're moving and marching. They've got a lot of distance to cover. If I sent them to the strategic movement, yes, they would be there, but it would take about 2 days for them to even do that. So it's a difficult one. Is the armor landed? It looks like there's no more troops to unload, so the armor has landed. That's superb. Now, what we could do is we could have the armor move down this way, which could be a very good idea, actually. If we take a look here, we have... I'm going to assume this is clear terrain or jungle. Terrain doesn't look amazing. Down by here. Is this real live? You can't use any coordination with Army and Navy. Well, you issue the orders. Obviously, the units will carry out orders. Things will affect those, like experience and a few things different, really. Okay, let's see. Right, the infantry's moving out. They're moving to a low star. These forces aren't given an order as of yet. There's a good amount of them, however. And then the artillery is moving to a low star too. Okay, so then we do have the 5th Reconnaissance Regiment and the 1st Tank Regiment. If we go into our ground forces, there we go, LCUs, Land Combat Units. We're going to look at the Imperial Japanese Army, we're going to look at armor, active. Okay. Ooh, 1st Tank Division would be a lovely one to. Okay. So I'm looking for the 1st Tank Regiment. Oh, the 11th. Oh, sorry, the 1st Tank Regiment and the 5th Reconnaissance Regiment. Okay. Right, here we go. They have the 1st Tank Regiment over here. So in the 1st Tank Regiment, we have 37 Type 97 medium tanks. We have 20 Type 95 light tanks. And then I'm looking for the 5th Reconnaissance Regiment, was it? Sub there, Peter Landman. How are you doing, my friend? Right, so we're looking for the 5th Reconnaissance Tank. There we go, the 5th Reconnaissance Tank Regiment. So now this one's rather interesting, actually. It's more, like if we compare it then with the 1st Tank Regiment, so 37, 20, so 57 tanks in total. We do have a lot less tanks over here, but obviously we do have heavy machine guns, we have some cavalry, we have some motorized squads, we have some AT guns, which is rather interesting, and obviously support. So I think what we should do then with this force is actually have it sent to a low star, and then the rest of the armour, the 1st Regiment, can be sent towards the south to deal with the forces down that way. I mean, 57 tanks is no small matter, especially if those British troops to the south have no way of dealing with that armour. That'd be great. Okay, so the 5th Reconnaissance Regiment is going to be sent to a low star. They're going to move out with these forces. I'm going to have them set to plan for that. Future objective, a low star, plan along the way. And then the other regiment here, yeah, 69 vehicles in total. Oh no, this is the 5th Reconnaissance Regiment. Oh, okay, there we go, that's fine. Yeah, 27, 37, motorized support. 103 vehicles in total. 69 vehicles in total, but infantry and some guns and other troops as well. So this is more of a pure combat force, which we do need to make the most use of. Now that they're finally ready, they can be packed and moved in a day. That's superb. So I'm going to have them move to Kotoboru. And that will be nice. We do have a decent commander here. Leadership 47. Not the highest. His land and aggression isn't too particularly great, actually. So let's see. Colonel Nagino. Right, I'm going to look through the colonels. Right, 69 is quite high. Leadership's lowish. Prison inspiration is quite up there. I think we want a balanced leader. We'll keep him in control, actually, because that would cost us quite a lot of political points, in fairness, and I don't really want to be using them. He can increase his 47 leadership, inspiration speed 5, administrative. His aggression is very good. His land's pretty decent. It's about midway for a lot of the troops. So that's fine, I'll allow that, I'll allow that. These forces don't have orders. These forces do not have orders. We can have them strategically move in a day. Superb, superb. We could have the forces from Patani move strategically too instead, which might be very much worth their while. Yeah, they have a lot of ground to cover otherwise, and they can be moved in a day. So yeah, we're going to have them move strategically. So we're going to gather our forces at Kotoboru and really start to push ourselves. These forces remain in, these forces remain in here too. Awesome. Sup, Phil? How you doing? Good afternoon from a dull and dreary Bristol. It's, that's quite nice, actually. I spent last weekend up in Sunderland with a girlfriend. That was awesome. Really loved it. Loved every moment of it. Really would like to go again. Shame about the weather, but supposedly this weekend we're meant to be due in for some nice weather, so that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Okay, so the 5th Reconnaissance Regiment is going to head over here. The 1st armoured regiment is going to head south via rail, which is going to be awesome news. Get them moving strategically. Once we have that force there, especially with the armour, that is going to mean huge progress can be made. We do need to take a look at more to do with that armour as well, really take a look. So let's see. I need to find out where we have some forces. These are inactive. Obviously these forces aren't going to have it. Planning. Any base. Okay. So I'm going to assume these are the ones that are out in the field right now. Right. These ones don't... okay, so they're on board. Right. Okay. I think that's the Philippines, is it? Okay, we have quite a lot of them loaded up over here. Okay. So what we're going to do then is, I do believe we'll have this task force meet up together, and then we'll have it pushed down here. And I think we're going to be quite aggressive. We're going to divert a few invasion forces and really just try to sweep across Sumatra and in Java. We need to get a good idea of what's going on over in Java. And if we can hunt down the Lexington, which we can very well do, Kitabuta is going to take some time, it's going to take many days to make it over here, but once we are there, we're going to be good. Hopefully we can land a hull in this turn. That would honestly be the best result. We have orders in the Philippines that will be carried out. Orders in China that shall be carried out. Manchuria is sorted for the time being. The Marshall Islands are being sorted. Pearl Harbor is being sorted. We do have these forces over here that are moving towards the US. That's good, that's good. Engine production needs to increase, so that's fine. Okay, so we are pretty much ready to go for the turn, so that's fine. We'll progress. Let's check on the weather report then. Partly cloudy, clear skies over this way. Overcast. Vote seems clear over here in China. Ideally, that'd be nice for us. Okay. We are but ready to go. We have resources being sent home, which is nice. Okay, should get some action going on now. The cargo ships are going to be arriving in their ports at some point soon. We estimated about a week to 2 weeks for them all to arrive. Do you get new tanks over time like planes, and if so, what do you get? I do believe we'll gain different tanks in time. I'd have to check on that one actually. We do definitely get new planes. There's a lot of plane types. We can sort of direct the way that we want R&D and production to go. It's like I'm favouring the A6M2 Zero platform, and obviously research is being concentrated really on that platform. The idea being that we can try and gain the better model of Zeros just a little bit sooner, where they could potentially make a bigger difference. I'm going to try and basically make the Zero the mainstay general fighter of the entire armed forces, really, if I can, so that we can use them both on land and on carriers. What's up there, Snake? How are you doing, my dude? So just progressing through the turn here, processing that turn. Okay. Yeah, I can see the weather is very mixed. I do need to make use of those seaplane carriers just at the Philippines, well, south of the Philippines. The bombardment at Wake is ongoing. Wake is going to be a consistent issue. I do very, very much need to get either extra forces there or a bombardment force, the likes of which the Americans have never seen at Wake. And even though it's going to take consistent bombardment. Okay, only 3 coastal guns there. We do have them set to a deliberate attack. We might go for a shock attack afterwards. Do I go for a shock attack at Hong Kong? Probably could do. I would like to have a little bit more confirmation from probably more... Oh, hello. What do we have over here? Nice, and we do have a hit there. And that is lovely. I-7 has done a good job there. So the entire has been hit, is on fire, heavy damage. Hopefully we can hear a sinking sound. Yep, she has been destroyed and put to the bottom of the ocean. The Arizona! The Arizona! We hit the Arizona! Ho ho! Okay. Okay, wow. That is mighty interesting. I'm actually going to have to screenshot that. That's rather interesting, actually. I'm enjoying that fact. Okay, so, very interesting. Okay. G'day, what mods are you using? I'm using the mod for the map from CamKid, Sunny Day, I do believe it is. I think I might have linked it down in one of the episodes earlier, but I'll have to link it again. And as well, ooh, what else are we using? I think we're using something, I can't remember what else I'm using. I think that might be it. I can't quite remember. But yeah, the fact that we've actually found the Arizona out here, that's really interesting, actually. I mean, for that one torpedo, that's good. Yeah, Arizona is going to be, that's really interesting, actually. Why are they moving Arizona out of there? I mean, they can't intend for it to head all the way over to San Diego or San Francisco or... I mean, surely that's a huge distance. Okay, so we do have a bombardment task force over here. Let's see what they can do. Okay. Yeah, we actually did inflict quite a lot of damage there. That was quite nice. Yeah, we hit their forces too. We didn't inflict any losses on them, but that's still very good. We could probably withdraw after that, causing that bit of damage. I'd love to bombard Clark's airfield, but I don't think we have the range. Right, something's been sunk. I'm going to assume it was the cargo ship that was hit. Yeah. I'm going to assume that's completely fucked. Right. Let's see. I should be able to find it. Let's see. Yamato Damashi. There we go, I'm going to link you to it now. There you go, so I'm using the Sunny Day without the, with dots, actually. Yeah, so she's really taking heavy fire. She's going to end up being sunk, to be honest. But that's... Ooh. Okay, this looks like the attack at Guam. Oh no, is this a... Wait, this is... Oh yes, there's the pre-evasion action off of Guam, so we are seeing the landers at Guam here. Ideally we can take Guam. Right, we lost a few forces there. Not too many, really. Enough to hurt, though. Okay. And no hits on our ships there, that's good. Okay, so that's the first 12-hour phase over. Okay, only one coastal gun, so not much in the way of firepower over there, at least for the time being. Okay, so more invasion. Oh, that's strange. It should be there. Oh, damn. Bloody hell, that submarine did a good job. Okay. I mean, that was a sad loss there. exchange. If you type in one of the Pacific sunny day mod, it'll come up with it. It's awesome the fact that we've seen the Arizona out there. The fact that we've got a torpedo into her as well. I mean, the off chances, I would have had no idea the Arizona was out there. I'm still surprised the Arizona was out there. Right, still looking for sightings around the Marshall Islands. I didn't quite get a glimpse though because it went by quite quick. Ideally we could try and get an air mission out there. Right, there's a bunch of allied ships around this area. There you go, sunny day mod. Yep. Really improves everything quite nicely. Yeah. Catalina has been destroyed. And that's good news. Okay, we have plenty of G4 M1s and a few G3 M2s. Hopefully that should soften up. Okay, there was a lot of them damaged. 2 destroyed. We did inflict some casualties. I might have to withdraw the attacks there just due to the amount of casualties. I don't want to lose too many planes. Yeah, a lot of them are being damaged too, so that's probably a sign that we should not be bombing Hong Kong like that. Lots of AA there, apparently. Yep, there we go, destroyed an allied aircraft. Right, so Hudsons, but yeah, those aren't going to make it, more than likely. No losses, which is rather surprising, actually. Some more Blenheims, escorting forces, or at least local air forces, are intercepting, which is always a good idea. And they did make it through, but I doubt they're going to get a hit. I would rather them not get a hit. Okay, no damage there. We did inflict some damage on their airplane, so that was great. Yeah, 1 Blenheim destroyed. Superb. And again, they're going for it. Blenheim destroyed. I mean, the graphics are quite nice. I mean, for a game, it's a few years old. It really, really would be amazing to see a remake. I mean, this was a mod that changed the look of the actual main graphics, but it's incredibly beautiful. I mean, there's nothing else like this. Yeah, lots and lots of ships over here, actually. That's rather impressive. Oilers, too. So we could use our battleships and light cruisers in the area, and obviously heavy cruisers, destroyers, really to move quickly towards the Philippines and try to intercept all those ships, because they're heading somewhere. Whoa, there's a lot of allied submarines. There's a hell of a lot of allied submarines around here. Jesus. We need to get the carriers out of that area ASAP. God damn. And go reconnaissance photos. Allied bombers hitting us over here. Oh, good, the wildebeest was damaged, that's good. And again, they're trying. Another Blenheim destroyed, so that's what, 3 of them down so far? That's good news. Okay, so they're going for some ground attacks, which I doubt they're going to succeed with. Yeah, all 3 of their Hudsons were damaged there, and they didn't inflict any damage. Okay, so we secure that southern base there. Awesome. Ooh, we had a miss there. That was lucky. Yeah, I'm not surprised she sank. Ah! Another hit over here. Superb. Critical damage. Yep, she's going to be going down, I imagine. I-7's diving deep. South hard. Suit hard. Yeah, she can't find us. Yeah, so we got in there. We delivered a hit, which is awesome. Doing very, very well around Pearl Harbor, actually. Okay, seems like we lost sight of Lexington, potentially. Or there has not been any combat joined. Right, the RTA division's moving. Forces in China, Manchuria moving. Thailand down into Malaya. Manchuria to China. Okay, now the attack at Hong Kong. We could potentially go for that. I think we could probably go for it. We do have significant strength here. So I think a shock attack could be manageable. Yeah, we reduce their fortifications as well, which is really good good news. Yeah, so reduce it to 2. We could go for another deliberate attack and reduce it further. Oh, right, it's only a base force, so we should be able to deal with that quite easily. Kind of regret not making a shock attack, but this is it. It could have been something else, and we could have lost many troops. But we still capture Marie. That's good. Okay, so those forces are going to retreat towards Brunei, so we do need to chase them and take Brunei. This isn't very good. We need to rectify the situation on Wake. Need to bring forces, but the fact that Wake is contested is good. Right, if we can reduce their fortifications further, that'd be great news. Okay. Oh, this is an allied attack. Alright, fortifications have been made. Awesome. If you save the, the R folder, basically save the graphics folder from Vanilla 1 of the Pacific, and then just basically make a copy of that elsewhere, and just try different mods, see what works for you, see what you like. There's a few out there, really beautiful ones, different changes. Definitely nice to see. Okay, so we have some really interesting results out here. Let's take a look at the situation. So we do have some more ships over here. We do have 2 submarines in that area alone. We do have ships heading this way, moving west, which is interesting. So they're moving towards Australia. These are moving towards America. Kibutai, he's moving. Well, those oilers really caught up pretty freaking quick. I suppose they're right next to Kibutai, so that's probably a good place for them to be. We do have our AMCs over here. Let's see, what about around this area? So it seems like they have avoided battle, but Right, these amphibious forces are retreating, I do believe. Okay, they're heading over here. They've dropped off. Right, so they still have their troops. Okay, the fact that they're moving over there is probably the best bet. I really do not want them to get hit by Lexington. She's moving unexpectedly. So I do wonder where she's going, actually. Okay, so good results all the way around. Pretty good to go. We do have a fuckload of, like, allied submarines over here. That is insane. And I'm really glad I moved these ships out of this area because, my lord, there's a lot of them. God, yeah, they're moving now there. I'm going to actually move them to full speed. I want them to really get out of that area ASAP. Okay. So this is where we're going to bring the session to an end. So again, a little bit of a shorter one, but still pretty good. So, until next time guys, thank you for watching, and goodbye. I hope to see you all very, very shortly in the future. Goodbye for now.